Fox Business Alert, ChatGPT's user base is about to join the 3 comma club. According to OpenAI's inaugural State of Enterprise AI report, the chatbot platform now serves more than 800 million users per week. The company also surveyed over 9,000 workers across nearly 100 enterprises to find patterns of AI adoption. So here's what they found. OpenAI says that over the past year, weekly messages in ChatGPT Enterprise, that's for the business part of it, increased nearly 8-fold, with the average user sending 30% more messages. Overall, 75% of workers see AI improving the speed and quality of their work, and AI saving employees 40 to 60 minutes per day. Meanwhile, heavy users say it saves them more than 10 hours per week. So has the expectation of AI gone from replacing most of our jobs to saving most people time in their jobs? Joining us now to weigh in is an 18-year Microsoft veteran and founding member of Bing.com, CEO now of Humanx, Stefan Weitz. Humanx, of course, is the world's premier AI conference. I attended the first one, Stefan. Can't wait to see the second one. Listen, let's get right to it. What is this number that they've put out? 800 million users, and it's saving people time. What does that tell you?
Well, it tells us that the doom scenario that AI is going to destroy everyone's job is probably not as prevalent and common as we all thought it might be. So if you look at some of the stats from the World Economic Forum, they're predicting 97 million new roles may actually emerge that are more adapted to this division of labor between humans and machines and algorithms. So I think that's the good news. We're seeing more adoption, more usage, saving people time, which will ultimately result in increased productivity and capacity for all of our workers.
There was one thing that caught my eye this year earlier when I went to the Humanx conference, which was in Las Vegas, and it said, "Stop hiring humans." I brought this up to you. It kind of freaked me out. We found the poster, actually, and maybe we can show it. But when I saw that, I thought, oh, man, but things really appear to have changed. So what is the shift? Can we show that? Is that possible? There it is. OK. This was all over the place. Stop hiring
that's right.
humans.
They did a great job. Yeah. Yes, they did a great marketing. It got your attention, which is what they were trying to do.
It did, and it scared some people, and it annoyed me.
Sure.
But
sure.
It feels like things are shifting.
A little bit. I think one of the things that people thought was going to happen with AI is that it was going to, again, replace people's altogether. And so we saw a lot of this happen with what was called vibe coding. Basically, people writing computer code who weren't actually writing code. They were writing instructions like, go build me a recipe app where I can consolidate recipes for my shopping list. And then the systems would actually write this code, which is great. I haven't written code professionally in 10 years. I was writing code again. It felt great. The reality is, though, a lot of the code that was being generated by these systems was what's called spaghetti code, or code that's not very maintainable and hard to work with. And so what we're seeing now is a lot of this code that was written. In fact, I think it was GitClear. They did a report this year, which they analyzed 200 million lines of code. They found copy and paste codes up 50%, code corrections are down 40%. Long story short, for non-nerds out there, it just means that the year of 2026 is going to be a lot about cleaning up this code that AI helped non-humans write or humans write, and deferring some of the spend on new technology that was promised.
We've got a very focused investor audience, and so far over the past year, it's been the chip makers, it's been the hyperscalers. That's been the investment to make. What is the shift that you are seeing right now? Because when we heard this, we said, we want Stefan, because you are knee deep in this stuff, elbow deep. You're already up to your neck in all things AI. What is the trade shifting to now?
Well, it's funny because if you look at NVIDIA hitting 5 trillion back in October, that was kind of the peak of what I call the silicon phase. Now we're in the electron phase, meaning that we just need more energy to run all these chips. If you look at what Microsoft did, for example, they're not just making software, they're actually signing a 20-year deal with Constellation Energy to restart that nuclear reactor, which will generate 835 megawatts of power, which is incredible. If you look at the trade, so Constellation, for example, is doubled from their 52-week low this year. And if you look at things like Oklo, which is a nuclear fusion company, that's up 400% year to date, which really you could almost look at as a meme stock of the trade. But really, data centers now are essentially power plants that can do math. If you don't own the power, then you can't own the AI. So that power trade and the trade of things making these more efficient, making models more efficient, that's where I believe 26 is going for sure.
Okay, so you like that that trade where it's who's going to feed, who's going to electrify, who's going to give life to these things. We also have to talk about regulation. Earlier, President Trump posted on Truth Social, he made it very clear that he wants to do an executive order specifically leading to AI only having one rule book, and that would be rules on the federal level for regulation. The states have been waiting around for a long time for that, and it hasn't come, so they've started to take things into their own hands. Obviously, it could really stymie the growth of AI if they have to work with 50 different 50 different things, right? 50 different states' rules and regulations. Certainly nobody wants to do that. We want to lead in the industry. However, I don't know if you saw 60 Minutes last night, but there was a piece about character AI, which is now being sued by 7 different sets of parents because their kids were talking to chatbots and afterward they committed suicide. And so there are some dangers here. Certainly allegations of serious dangers, and Google gets swept into this because those guys had come from Google and they are now partnering with Google. So where do you stand on the regulatory landscape here?
A great question. We actually formed a nonprofit called the AI Coalition to help solve this for the industry. I personally and our coalition is focused on a federal level set of regulations, precisely because of what you said. If you have to navigate a patchwork of 50 different state regulations to build a product, especially if you're a startup or an early stage company, that is going to stymie innovation. The big players, the hyperscalers, the incumbents, they can afford to take more time and they can afford to deal with a patchwork of regulations. But small, independent, new companies where a lot of innovation comes from simply can't. So we are a big supporter of that federal mandate. Not to say it has to be an EO, but certainly something which protects people, which is critically important, protects the infrastructure, which is important, prevents runaway bad outcomes, which is very important. All those things have to be in place, but they need to be in place in one place, not in 50.
Stefan, good luck to you. We're watching all of this in real time, and it will be, if we look back on it years from now, that moment of remember 2025 when it all just blossomed and exploded. So
it just seems so simple, didn't it? Yeah.
Way back then. Good to see you. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.